Welcome to the third lesson in the series of Japanese lessons from the channel Saral Japani. Hello friends, I am Sujoy Chatterjee and this is a simplified and easy to understand course for the beginners of Japanese language learning. In today's lesson, we shall present an introduction to the various scripts used to write Japanese. We shall look into the origin and evolution of these scripts along with some additional information on each of them. Before we begin with today's lesson, I would like to recap the last two lessons. The first one was a basic introduction and background of Japanese as a language, and the second lesson was an introduction to the Japanese sounds. Continuing with the introductory lessons, today is the third and the last of the introductory lessons, and this is all about the scripts. So we begin with the definition of script. What is a script? While speaking, we make sounds through our mouth and nose. Characters and symbols have been defined to write such sounds in each language. Such characters or symbols form the script of that language, or in simple words, script is the written form of a language, or the way or manner of writing a language is called its script. Every language has its own script or scripts, as we know. For example, English, French, and other European languages are written in Roman script. Hindi is written in Devanagari script. Urdu is written in the Persian script. Punjabi, another Indian language, this is written in Gurumukhi script. Manipuri is again an Indian language, but it is from the Sino-Tibetan family of languages, and it is written in the Meitei script. So we are interested in Japanese in this course. So Japanese, unlike the other languages listed above, it's written with the help of three different scripts. These are Hiragana, Katakana, and Kanji. So let's look into these scripts in more detail now. The Japanese scripts. Scripts may be of two types. Phonetic. What is a phonetic script? In a phonetic script, the sounds coming out of the mouth are written using alphabets, and the script is based on consonants, vowels, and their pronunciation. In Japanese, the phonetic scripts are called the kana scripts. The kana scripts are again divided into two categories, hiragana and katakana. While hiragana script is used to write words and grammar of Japanese origin, the katakana script is used to write words of foreign origin. That is, the words that have been imported from foreign languages into Japanese. The second kind of script that is used in Japanese is the ideographic or pictographic script. The ideograms or pictograms are not something of recent past. Ancient man used to make cave paintings depicting various actions from their daily lives. These were pictographic languages. In modern age, there has been an extensive use of pictograms in the form of road signs, traffic symbols, or any kind of instructions and warnings. And the most recent one are the emojis on our smartphones that we are using on a daily basis to give reactions. Aren't these also some kind of pictorial script? So a pictographic script or an ideographic script is nothing but a thought or an idea that is depicted by using a symbol or a picture. The main advantage of a pictographic script is that even if we are not able to pronounce the words or we don't know how to pronounce them, the meaning could be easily understood by looking at the symbols. More could be said using lesser space or alphabets. So what does this mean? Fish in Japanese is called sakana. So as you can see in hiragana script, This is written as sakana here. So it takes 3 alphabet spaces. So if we write it in the pictographic script, it will be like this. This is the pictogram for fish in Chinese or Japanese. So as you can see, it takes a single character space and it definitely gives more meaning of the item in question. Another advantage of pictographic script is that the semi-literates could easily understand the meaning of what is being said by looking at the symbol. For example, this is the symbol of a tree. This is the symbol of east direction. So let me explain how they have arrived at this symbol for east. So this is a hill or a mountain, and on top of that, this is the sun that is rising, and this is the sky. So this is the scene of morning in which the sun is rising from behind the mountain or the hill. So this is east direction because east has this rising sun. Isn't this interesting? This is the paddy field, or more specifically the top view. This picture shows the top view of a paddy field, and this is fire. So this is how the pictograms are were derived in ancient times in Chinese language, and Japanese language has imported these symbols from the Chinese script. The Japanese ideographic or pictographic script is called the Kanji script, and each symbol that we just saw is a kanji. These kanjis are basically adopted from the Chinese script, as I just mentioned. So now to summarize the three scripts of Japanese: Hiragana, Katakana, Kanji. So when we talk about the Japanese scripts, we name them in this order: Hiragana, Katakana, Kanji. But when it comes to the sequence of evolution, the order is not the same. The katakana was first evolved from the Chinese script, and that was the one that was first evolved in as a script. And then hiragana came, that was developed from katakana, that we shall see shortly how hiragana was evolved. And then we have the kanji, which is nothing but a direct import of symbols from the Chinese script. So to summarize, among the kana scripts, katakana evolved first, followed by hiragana, and kanji symbols have been imported from Chinese to give more meaningful to give more meaning to certain words or thoughts and ideas. So now we shall look at the origin and evolution of Japanese scripts. In ancient Japan, there wasn't any indigenous script to write Japanese. The classical Chinese script was the only option available to these Japanese scholars of that era. When the Buddhist monks arrived in Japan with the idea of spreading Buddhism, they brought Buddhist manuscripts with them. For spreading Buddhism, it was necessary that the people of Japan could read those Chinese manuscripts that conveyed the principles of Buddhism. And this was the 9th century, or more specifically, the Heian period. It was extremely difficult to memorize and remember those complex Chinese symbols, those pictograms. Hence, the thought came to their mind that the symbols needed to be simplified for the people of Japan. The sounds denoted by those pictograms were converted into a kind of shorthand form of writing, some kind of shorthand system. And that formed the basis of the Japanese alphabet system. That is, the simplified versions of the Chinese pictograms. This simplified phonetic version of the Chinese pictograms was named kana, or more specifically the katakana, the first ever Japanese script. This is how the first ever Japanese script evolved. Now, one important and interesting aspect is that there is some connection of this evolved kana script with India. Let's have a look at it. During the 6th century, that is in the medieval period in India, the Siddham script was evolved from the Gupta Brahmi script, and these were used to write Sanskrit language at that time. The Siddham script is considered as the ancestor of the present Devanagari and related scripts like Bengali, Assamese, Oriya. These are all Indian languages. And to mention, Devanagari is the script in which Hindi is written. Many Buddhist manuscripts written in Siddham script reached China in that period through the famous Silk Route. During that evolution phase, it was necessary that the pronunciation of the hymns reached China correctly, and Chinese pictographic script was totally unable to write the Sanskrit words. It was incapable, and that led to the acceptance and proliferation of the Siddham script in East Asia. It is said that the Buddhist monk Kukai in the year 806, that is in the 9th century, brought the Siddham script with him from China to Japan. While living in Japan, Kukai, along with other Nalanda trained Buddhist monks, did a thorough study and research in Sanskrit. For those who don't know, Nalanda is a famous historical place in India where Buddhism grew. Kukai's interest in the proliferation of Buddhist manuscripts led him to the conclusion that the Japanese language could be better represented by a Siddham kind of phonetic script instead of the Chinese pictograms. And it is believed that it was Kukai who invented the Kana script during the same 9th century. One can easily observe the resemblance of the Siddham script with the modern alphabet system of the Japanese Kana script. In this way, Katakana script evolved. So isn't this evolution interesting, friends? Evolution of Katakana from the Chinese script. Now let's look at an example of how this evolution happened. We have Chinese and Katakana. This is the A sound of Chinese script. And the corresponding Katakana is this. So you can see how this Katakana letter has been derived from this whole kanji. So only this portion has been taken here. Similarly, for the E sound, this is the symbol, the pictogram in Chinese, and in Japanese katakana, only this segment has been taken and it is now called the E sound. Likewise for U, A, O, these are the other three vowel sounds. So for all these, only some portion has been taken. The portion that has been marked with this light blue color has been taken to prepare the symbols of katakana. So this is how the simplified katakana symbols have been derived from the complex Chinese pictograms. And as I said, these basis was taken from the Indian Siddham language. Subsequently, Hiragana script was developed, which was a more artistic and cursive style of writing, and the logic was almost the same as that for katakana. Since katakana was used to write Chinese words at that time, hiragana was assigned to be used for writing original Japanese words, that is, words that were of Japanese origin, and later all foreign language words started to be written in katakana. Hiragana writing is cursive, whereas katakana letters have sharp, straight, and angular lines. This we will see in the next slide. Hiragana and katakana together are totally sufficient to write the complete Japanese language. Now let's have a look at the evolution of symbols of hiragana from the Chinese and the related katakana symbols. So for this, we take the example of this line na, ni, nu, ne, no. In the last lesson, we have uh, studied about these sounds. So this is the na sound, and combined with the 5 vowel sounds, we have na, ni, nu, ne, no. Now let us see the symbols for this. This is the na symbol in Chinese. Now here are the symbols, corresponding symbols in Hiragana and Katakana. So as you can see, this portion of the Chinese symbol has been taken here as Hiragana, and it is a cursive form of writing. So this is written like this portion. And in Katakana only this portion has been taken. So Katakana is simpler than Hiragana, and as I said, Hiragana is a cursive style of writing, and both Hiragana and Katakana have the same origin, which is the Chinese script. Likewise, for the ni sound, we have this Chinese symbol, and these are the Hiragana and corresponding Katakana. So you can see how similar these are and how simplified versions are these. Similarly, the other three, no, ne, and no. So you can see here how these symbols have been simplified to form the Japanese phonetic scripts. So as we mentioned that Hiragana has cursive and roundness in its symbols, and Katakana has sharp and angular lines. After Kana scripts, we have the kanji, the third script kanji, which is directly imported from Chinese pictograms. But why there is a need of pictograms when the kanas were already there and were capable of writing the entire Japanese language? There were many words that had common or same sounds in them, but meanings were different. So the kanjis helped to differentiate the meanings easily as they conveyed ideas or thoughts. Pictograms are arranged in lines to give them specific meanings. These can be arranged in both horizontal as well as vertical lines. New ideas or thoughts are created by joining multiple kanjis. So this we shall look at using an example. So let's derive the symbol or the kanji of sun. So this is sun. What does the sun do? It creates day and night. So half is day and half is night. And from that, this symbol of this kanji of sun is derived. So since the kanji, it is the shape of the symbols are more linear than circular. So this circle and these two parts have been modified into this rectangular style of writing. And the sun is called ni. So this is one kanji, kanji of the sun. Next is tree. This is a tree, and this is the kanji of tree, which is known as ki in Japanese. So we have the sun as ni, the tree as ki. Now from the tree, we have the roots here, and that's why the symbol or the kanji of roots is hon. So as you can see, it's same as the kanji of tree with an additional horizontal line here, and this denotes the root of the tree. So this is called hon, and although the literal meaning is roots of the tree, but it is used to write the root or origin in general. So this means ni for sun, ki for tree, and hon for roots or origin. Then we have person, and the corresponding kanji is jin. Jin is person in Japanese, and as you can see, the shape of this person is nothing but this, and so this is the pictogram of a person, jin. So now what do we get from all these? We have ni for sun, hon for the origin or root, and jin for the person. So this is ni and this is hon. So this is Nihon, or the sun origin, or the place where the sun originates, that is the land of the rising sun, which is nothing but Japan. So Nihon, Japan, the meaning of the word Nihon is the land of rising sun. So this is how Nihon is derived. So as I said that the kanjis of different things are joined together to form new words. So this is how sun and root has been joined together to form Nihon or Japan. Likewise, now Nihon is added to Jin and we get Nihonjin. Nihonjin this means Nihon is Japan, Jin is person. So a Japanese person or a Japanese citizen. So in this way, ni, hon, nihon, nihonjin. We keep adding the kanjis and we form new words with new meanings. So this is how the kanjis are formed. And in future courses, we shall be doing the kanji symbols and all the kanji symbols that are available in modern Japanese language. We shall derive them and understand their meanings and use them in sentences. Friends, there are around 40,000, more than 40,000 kanji symbols, but you need not worry about it because the Ministry of Education in Japan has released an official list of 2,136 kanji symbols that are sufficient to write modern Japanese. Out of these 2136 symbols, in the primary school standard, that is from class 1 to 5, 1006 kanjis are taught while the remaining 939 kanjis are taught in the secondary school level, that is in class 6 to class 10. Kanji should be learned by continuous practice. It definitely takes time. So don't be in a hurry. Don't worry too much about it and don't panic because generally the learners of Japanese panic about kanjis. So you have to give yourself time for it and there should not be any hurriedness to learn kanjis because it's complicated and it takes time. And with regular practice, one can easily master it. So friends, that's all about the introduction of Japanese scripts. We come to an end of lesson 3 and from the next lesson, that is from lesson 4 onwards, we shall go deeper into the learning of Japanese language. And in the next lesson, we shall talk about the Hiragana script. So we shall learn the letters of the Japanese sounds in Hiragana script and practice writing it. So till then, goodbye, take care, sayonara.